Hey, welcome everybody. Come on in, chat amongst yourselves. Thank you. Thank you, Paradigm Collective fam. By the way, I did get your message. I'm just behind. I will definitely respond as soon as I can. And that goes to anybody else who's sent me an email or anyone who has tried to reach out to me. I am not ignoring you. I will get to you as soon as I can. So let me just notify a few more people and then we'll get started. Hey, Miss Kitty Lulu, fam, thank you so much. Notify the people on Facebook. You say was actually about to meditate, but ABB started live. Gotta watch it. Ha ha. Ha. What's up, fam? Martis. All right. Y'all know the routine. Chat amongst yourselves. Hit the like button. Which um and I'll get with you as soon as the room feels a little more. Vincent K, what's up, Vincent? King Lewis, what's up? Kimura Cruz, what's up, fam? Hey, what's up, brother Love from Jackie? And good to see you, likewise. Asia, what's up, fam? Again, you're another one. I have not forgotten about you. I've just been really, really busy and pacing myself with other things. And Source Jedi, what's up? March for Change. What does that mean? Revamp Skunk, what's up, fam? Tar Starlight, what's up, peeps? Now, y'all may want to get your notes. I got my notes here because when I do interviews and sometimes when I do these lives, what happens more than often is that so much is coming in. My mind races so fast. My thought process is so fast. I often misspeak. I often miss words, and sometimes I miss key points. So I'm kind of getting in the habit of just writing down notes so that I make sure that I don't keep doing these things, even though they're gems. But I want the gems to really hit the right way. And if I'm constantly misspeaking and missing out things, it doesn't shine as bright. That's a metaphor, y'all. Hello, fam. Divine Warrior, thank you. And now that you and Miss Kitty Lulu is here, I'm so glad that you guys made this live. I just want to give a special shout up to you two, your devotion, your going beyond the call of duty, your sincerity, the work that I see you guys doing behind the scenes. I see you guys. You two definitely are blazing gold, okay? And I thank you so much for the dedication, the devotion, because I know it has not been easy for you guys, because you guys are at the forefront. But look at where you are now, and look at how much you've done and how much we have done. May not be so obvious to the conscious mind of a lot of folk right now, but I see it, and I'm so proud of you guys, and I thank you with all my heart. We hold each other up. That's what it's all about. And there are a few others who are out there on the front line who I don't see here specifically that I want to give a special shout out to because even though the protection around you guys is very, very strong, and this is tying into what we're about to get into, seeing how they are coming after and using loved ones who are more vulnerable is a weak spot for us, and especially as mothers, the mothers. So I feel you. The challenge makes it that much more difficult. But as they always say, we're never given more than we can, more than we can handle. And you ladies are super warriors. So you're handling it. And again, I'm very, very proud of you guys. And I thank you so much for the continued support, devotion, and dedication. It means a lot. I don't take anything for granted that's been wielded my way. And I definitely see everything that matters at this particular time. And you guys are doing some mind over matter work. I'm telling you, if people could see what I see, I wish they could. But again, props due. Props, major props due. Okay, let's see. Asia, yes, you are welcome. Asia is a singer. Her voice is amazing. I am definitely going to work with her. I got a project that she is going to be a part of. And her voice, again, she's a powerful, divine, feminine anchor. And this is what more of us need to see. And we are seeing, and we're going to see more of it. Those who are mothers, the women, because women have been getting a crappy end of the deal for a very, very long time. And believe you me, it is very, very well connected to the subject matter that we're talking about. Women and those of us who magnify and personify the divine feminine, there's a reason on this particular realm why those forces have been so aggressively oppressed, attacked psychically, physically, mentally, socially. economically, but look around, you really pay attention, and you may have to dig a little deeper to really see what I'm talking about. That is changing. And because that is changing, those forces who want to hold up the old system and paradigm as a means to try and suppress and counter, they are elevating the attacks. And the mothers and the divine anchors for the divine, the great mother and the divine feminine, and the males who magnify and hold the energy are definitely at the forefront of the kind of attacks that I'm talking about. And those attacks are coming in from within and without. Again, no rock, no community, no circle, no institution has been left unturned. Everyone is being hit at every angle you can imagine. And let me tell you, ironically, the ones who are most fodder and most used and manipulated to carry out the attacks on the great divine feminine, the great mother, are those who think this stuff isn't real. I mean, think about it. As long as you don't think it's real, you fall more prone to the tricks and traps and the vices that they're using. And thus is in ignorance consenting. This is how they get away with a lot of um, karmic retribution or a lot of cause and effect, because they do it in such a clever way that the people are doing it on their behalf or carrying out negative, what's the word I'm looking for? Basically carrying out anti-progression or a progressive movement on their behalf so that they're absolved of karmic retribution. But those who will ignorantly follow and think this stuff isn't real and fall into their vice and use their vice and suggestions and under their hypnotic suggestion and spells actually elevate and carry these things out. And so they, in their ignorance, take on the karmic debt or the cause and effect or the retribution that is created as the result. And here's why a lot of people sit around and ask, why is my life the way it is? Why is this happening? They don't understand. What's this saying? My people suffer due to lack of knowledge. And I'm telling you, the opposition loves those who think this stuff ain't real. They're their first line of defense and offense. It's real. Okay, let me see what y'all talking about. Okay, the room is kind of quiet. Are you guys just paying attention to what I'm saying? What's up, Amar? Hello, beautiful people. Nice colors, ABB. Yeah, I put a lot of thought when I come on live. I could come on live a little more, not a lot more, but a little more than I have. But I don't like to come on live if my mind is not there and I'm not in the best space, because I don't want to project that energy on you guys. And even still, I always do a meditation and I ask the divine forces around me and the divine forces in me to come forward and project what it is that I'm doing and block out all the noise, all that darkness, and all that drama and negativity. I am very, very sensitive to the magnetic energy when I do these lives. That's another reason. And this is how you can tell the difference when you look at people who stay on lives 24/7. I honestly, there's no way I could do that. That would really drain the crap out of me because I'm in tune with that energy. I can feel it. So you're talking about all these eyes looking at you. Some people are psychic vampires and they don't even know it. It's not a diss to them, but that's just the way it is. Then you get a lot of people who are looking at us and drawing from us different things. And those of us who are very, very sensitive, even if we have a strong force and fortitude in and without and outside of us, we feel that. And so I don't like to come online if my energy is not right and I don't feel strong enough to counter the pull, because it drains me. It literally drains me. And that is another form. I don't have it on my list. Well, I do have it on my list in a roundabout way, but that is another form of psychic attack. It can be an aggressive attack, but it can also be a passive attack. So the people who can get online and do this stuff all day long, every day, these are definitely people, more than likely, they are on a frequency and vibration that is more in alignment with the opposing forces. They may or may not be consciously aware of it. This is why it doesn't mess with them. It doesn't bother them. You're talking about, imagine if your nature is fire, right? And you're only one match, and someone put you as a match in a massive room that's icy cold. It's just a matter of time. All of that energy in that room is going to overpower that fire. So the internet now collectively has become a playground and a cesspool for those who are operating on the realm of mindlessness, fear, division, hate, wickedness, selfishness, materialism, uh, pushing popular narratives, pushing popular programs, and so on and so forth. And all of those fall in alignment with the energy that we're trying to flip so that this elevation can happen as smoothly as possible, meaning this ascension, this going to the next level, this collective graduation. And so again, this all ties into what we are about to get into. I want to say what's up to Twin Pyramid. What's up, fam? Paradigm Collector. I already saw you. Who else? Who else have I missed? If I didn't give you a shout out, hit a 1 so I can see who you are. Because I like to give everybody they just do, because you all are very, very important. I got your back, family. Well, you know that's family. Family, thank you. You know, Gaia Earth. What's up, buddy? I didn't see you. Gaia Earth. Well, I was about to say something. I'm not going to say it, but good job, brother. I'm not going to say anything. Avon, what's up, fam? Hey, I miss you too. What's up, buddy? I appreciate your energy too. I see you, buddy, and I appreciate you as well. You're up there with the divine mothers and the anchors that I gave a special shout up to. Yo. Okay. All right. Again, I have to follow these notes, so I'm going to talk a little slower than usual, and I'm going to, in between going through these notes and saying what I got to say, I'm going to stop and see if you guys have any questions or would like to add to what I just spoke on. Okay? If you get what I'm saying, hit a 1. Everybody hit that 1. And yeah, get your notes too. If you guys get what I'm saying. So again, what I'm going to do, I'm going to hit all my talking points and say what I have to say. And in between, I'm going to take a break to see if anyone wants to add to what I'm saying or ask a question or ask for clarification to what I had just shared. Okay. All right. The first thing is we have to understand what are spiritual and psychic attacks. And this is what I have written. Spiritual and psychic attacks are typically unprovoked. There are always exceptions to every rule. Spiritual attacks are typically unprovoked, aggressive actions against a person or group with metaphysical and psychological means from and by intelligences and forces seen and unseen. Let me read that again. Spiritual attacks are typically unprovoked, aggressive actions against a person or group with metaphysical and psychological means from and by intelligences and forces seen and unseen. Do you guys get that? Does that resonate with you guys? If it does, hit 1. Or hit 1111. Okay. Anyone have any questions about what I just shared? Okay, I'm going to move on. What are the end game / goals of spiritual attacks? First, to cipher, harvest, manipulate, feed off of, and control the conscious magnetic energy and mind of the target, such as they do so to cause chaos and confusion via constant and relentless drama. I'm going to come back to that one. To mislead or misdirect, basically throw you off your path or throw you off your square. To create mental and physical dis-ease. To dim one's inner light. And let me speak a little more about that. For those who think this light, when we talk about a light, to make the point, even though we are not our bodies, when you look at a sperm cell under a microscope, it's right there. The head of the sperm there's a small light in there, right? We all know this. This is a fact. So when the sperm hits the egg and they come together and form the physical vessel for the consciousness and mind to come into, right? When we become fully developed, the head of the sperm and the tail, the head of the sperm becomes the brain. Remember what we talk about, the brain being the assimilation helmet, and then the spine, the nervous system, becomes the tail. So what happens to that light? That light is still there in the center. This is where the pineal gland would be. That light is there. And what happens as we grow, just as the brain, the stems, the neurological system grow and expand, that light grows as well. And those who understand the power of the mind and how the physical body works in conjunction to it, they want to do everything they can to shut down that light within, because it basically shuts off the range of, I'm sorry, I'm in the moment here. The less light the mind, because we don't see with the eyes, we see with the brain and see with the mind. So the dimmer that light becomes, the less we're able to see what is in front of us. Again, we're multidimensional. There are layers around us that we cannot see with the naked eye. That light has a major, or plays a major role behind why that is, and the tools and the means to which that is being done to keep that light dim. Okay, I can go deeper on this. So y'all with me? All right. The next, slow down one's rates of vibration. Again, even these physical bodies vibrate. Everything in creation, everything we see around us has a vibratory signature. Everything. The mind, and even when we emit or we speak and we think, there's an energy pattern, there's a frequency vibration that's being emanated. So this is what it's all about, controlling frequency and vibration as well. The next, to steal one's life force / currency. Now down here, currency is, y'all know, we know what currency is, right? But little do a lot of folk know that our very existence here with the emotions and what we create and what we give collective thought into is a form of currency as well. Our very existence is a currency. This is why things like slavery, okay? Slavery, soul harvesting and things like that has always been a powerful resource. There are levels to this game. Down here, it's that to the average person, but behind the scenes, those who are in the know, it's about the soul and the spirit and the emotions that we generate through these vessels and with the power of our mind. To mark and curse said target, I'm going to come back to that. To derail one from their life purpose. This, again, this applies mostly to those who are down here to bring about change. Everybody has their own lane. Like, this is my lane. Those who are in politics, that's their lane. Then you have those who are into the arts. I'm partly in that lane as well. Some of us are in multiple lanes at the same time. Then you have those who are all about social injustices. Again, everyone has a lane. If your purpose is to bring about a collective shift in consciousness that's going to benefit the whole versus a few or select or elect, you very well, no doubt about it, it's going to be dealing with all, or has been, or will continue to deal with all the points that I'm making here. To trap the soul as a resource, that kind of goes without saying. To prevent self-realization, again, making us think, oh, we're the body, we're our sex, we're our gender, we're our sexual orientation, we're our religion, all this silly mess. No, those are aspects of self. It's a means to an end. It's like a cake. Someone gave this analogy once before. When you put a cake together, or anything, any dish for that matter, a delicious dish, you have different ingredients. So there are different ingredients that shapes and formulates us all. So you can't have you can't make or create something meaningful or impactful, right, with just one small ingredient. You need a little bit of sweet, you need a little bit of bitterness, you need a little bit of healing, you need a little bit of this, a little bit of that, to formulate all that you need to be in order to fulfill what it is you're here to do, or what it is you are here to learn or potentially grow from or co-create. All right. And last, to derail any chance at inner peace. Again, all of this comes into the rate and vibration of the creation, our thought, our how we think, what we create, what we bring to the planet. Again, peace has a vibration and a frequency to it. That's a place, that's a space that we all can achieve. And that space is very, very high in frequency and vibration. However, those who thrive off of chaos, debauchery, degeneracy, reprobateness, there's no word as such word as reprobateness, but it's one right now. And with me, y'all know I'm gonna come up with some words. The reprobate, the cesspool of degeneracy and all of that, they don't like peace. They thrive off of violence, chaos, deception, and so on and so forth. Again, I know I'm preaching to the choir, but let me get off that point. Anyone got any feedback to that? I got your back said, man, the devil is really working overtime. Yeah, I was about to slap the Holy Spirit out of this lady in Segway on yesterday. I had to regroup and regather my thoughts. I had to tune down the noise. That's a fam. We talk about this. You handled the situation very well, and this is one of the ways they're baiting a lot of. Now, I have all those other these forms of psychic attacks. The one that people like who have a very, very high calibration level. What we get without fail is them working through family members because we are too strong. They can't get us. They've tried and they tried. They sent their very best. It's not working. So what they do, they work through family members, and to everyone else, they'll work through family members and people around us, people who are on that frequency, and work through them to get you angry, to get you in your emotions, to pull you out of character so that you can potentially do something that can work against what it is you stand for and the energy and the rate of vibration that you are presenting and holding in the world. You see, so that's one of the ways they are absolutely, and that is making a lot of people very aggressive, hostile, and very psychotic. This is one of the reasons why violence has exploded in homes, chaos and confusion in the home. That plays a part in it. All right. Cruz says they have created entire doctrines on manipulation and looshing. Yes, that's the energy. Well, though, well throughout and wait a minute, hold on. They have created entire doctrines on manipulation and looshing, well thought out and prepared, and it goes to show how strong you are as a decipher that and disseminate to us their handbook. Well, hey, I tell people all the time, there is a reason why my content is so suppressed and shadow banned all across social media. I've never seen this. Y'all can see it for yourself. You just go and look at it. Just go on TikTok, look at my videos, go and look at the likes and views, and just come back and look at it, and you will see they stay down. It'll go up, it'll be knocked back down. You see comments disappearing. They're not doing that because I'm some idiot, crazy man just pulling stuff out my behind. This is one of the reasons why you guys know that I talked about they're wanting to recruit certain people because they know there are people down here who's going to see through the mess. It's not going to work on us. So what they do is they offer money, material gains, sex, man, woman, whatever you into, anything you can imagine physically, power, fame. They offer that in exchange to come on board with them. But because none of that stuff appeals to me and it don't mean nothing to me, that never worked. Because what matters to me most are the things that are skin deep, a person's character. Genuinely, anybody who knows me will tell you I don't care about that stuff. So it didn't work on me. So it's like, okay, we couldn't get him to sign on to basically use his talents and gift to help deceive and pollute the world. So we're going to treat him like a virus to us and just suppress all and block all his online content. He basically defied all the odds, being so-called, quote, breaking the scripts, being a, quote, so-called non-binary black man in America, ain't bound down and fall into niggerdom, ain't bound down to white supremacy, ain't bound down to people accept me and because people don't like how I present myself. Oh, well, your loss, because I know what's in this heart and what I can be to somebody. I ain't care about none of that. That's unheard of. I never caved into peer pressure, none of that. So what I'm doing is I'm giving you guys what needs to be done, because in the process of getting to this point, it was hard. It was hard. I cried a lot. I was in so much emotional pain. I wanted to die. But what I now understand is that, and like my uncle, when he came to me on the astral realm, he told me I needed to go through all of this because what's going to happen is going to make me develop balls of steel and skin of armor and a strong will. And everybody knows I'm a very, very strong character. Even in my weak moment, looking back, I was doing some brave, in-your-face stuff. Anybody who watches me, who's ever worked with me on a job, my family members, friends, or so, they will tell you I've always been just like this, and I talk like this in front of anybody. I used to be, I'm kind of getting off topic. Let me get back on topic. I'm sorry. I need to stop that. Stop. Okay, let me move on. Center touch, literally love. They are not ready for your truth. You break things down to the point that I can see your truth through all my senses. What you say? Yeah, because it's coming. It's not something somebody taught me. I live this. That's why I can do it that way. When I talk about seeing beyond the veil, all this stuff, it's not something I read in a book or somebody told me. I live it, all of it. Revamp Skunk, the you know too much truth, that's all too real. I'm so glad that I stay tuned in and discern. Thanks again, ABB, for this class. You're welcome, fam. Amar, what's up, fam? ABB has several videos and blogs that he has made over the years, giving tips and tricks to fortify and empower yourself against any opposition. Exactly. Thank you, Omar, for that reminder. Let me see. Wow, Gaia, you have the light they do not like. Keep pushing, brother. I got your back. Say that to Gaia Earth. Absolutely, Gaia. I got your back to Gaia. Avong, I felt that. Ramon, hey, what's up, Ramon? Ramon, this is now, Ramon, I just followed you on TikTok. Now listen to this. This is evidence right here, what I'm talking about. Ramon took I don't even know if I want to say, oh, well, if they go in and mess with it, it'll just further prove what I'm saying. Ramon, followed him on TikTok because I see that he followed me. He has, last I checked, he had 2 videos on, maybe 3 videos that he have on TikTok. One of those videos, he has a quote from me with me speaking in the background, but he did not put my name or any link where my name is in the actual video itself at the bottom, but he didn't put it in the hashtag, right? Now, know this, and Ramon is going to totally get what I'm saying. Ramon is not regularly putting up content on TikTok, right? And his following is not strong because he's not putting up regular content up there. Do y'all know that video with me, with my voice, has over 2,000 views, am I correct? And like 300 and something likes to it. Now, I put similar content just like that on my TikTok, very similar, and I can't even, on average, I can't even break on average 10 likes and maybe 2-figure views. And people know who I am. I don't put up content every day, but I do put stuff out there. I think I have about 80 some videos out there, and all of them have a message in it. Now, please tell me, how is it that someone who is known to the public can put up almost 100 videos on TikTok and they perform very, very poorly, and someone who don't even really have an audience, don't have any following, no content, put up content from me that is surrounding me, and it gets thousands of views and hundreds of likes? And I can give other examples because other people have done this. They've taken my content that I have uploaded somewhere else and uploaded on their platform. And these are people with their platform's way bigger than mine. And my video is performing the exact same way it performs on my channel and when I upload it on the content. So I know that it's the algorithms, and they also have people manually watching certain people. It can't get any clearer than this. And then when we look at all these people who have made predictions over the years, some of these people have millions of views, millions of followers, and their predictions have been off over and over and over again, but they keep a loyal, large audience. But here y'all go, and y'all can go see for yourself the level of accuracy with my readings. And some of them have not played out. Just because it ain't happened don't mean it ain't gonna play out. It's a couple, but the majority of them have already played out. And I've been very consistent with that. So please tell me, why would they be doing that? And again, coming back to psychic attack, that's another way to also try to get to me psychologically, to make me think, oh, ain't nobody checking for your work. You ain't really all that. You ain't making no waves. That's a form of psychic attack to try to get in my head. But because I see it, and I understand it, understand it, ultrastand it, and this is why I share it with you guys, so that you know when you step out there and you're putting content out there and it doesn't seem to move anywhere, it's not because you're not great and you're not good at what you're doing. It's manipulation. They're trying to get in your head to make you get down and feel inadequate and not good enough. And really, social media by and large right now is designed that way to make certain people feel like shit and everyone else because they pick and choose. Trust me, the majority of the ones that are doing extremely well, they were chosen. Just like people talk about how the Most High or the ultimate God chooses certain ones, the dark side have their chosen ones too. So when people say chosen ones, that's a double-edged sword. So they have their chosen ones out there. They try to get me to come in, but again, I said no, and some others, a few have said no, but many of them said yes. They took the deal. They made the deal. So getting back to where I left off, now I'm getting ready to get into um, signs and symptoms that one is being spiritually and psychically attacked. Okay, Ramon, I later went and tagged your TikTok account as a person in the video. Hopefully they won't try to take the video down or anything. We shall see. Thank you, Ramon, by the way, for sharing. I want to thank any of you guys who share the content anyway, because there will be a time the playing field will be level, and this content will ultimately reach more people who genuinely want it and is looking for it. Okay, signs and symptoms that one is being spiritually attacked. Some of these signs and symptoms can also be related to other situations such as ascension symptoms and physical ailments and disease. Since I'm not a board certified doctor or physician or anything, some of these, again, symptoms can be a medical situation and or it could be an ascension system. Now, when I'm gonna tell you the difference, how you could tell ascension symptoms versus a medical ailment, and you would have to go to the doctor to get what I'm saying. If you are having any of the physical symptoms that I'm describing, if you go to the doctor of and complaining about some of the signs that I'm about to give to you, and they can't find anything, more than likely, I am willing to bet my life that those are ascension symptoms. Now, if you go to the doctor, of course, they find something, you know that there's something physical going on. All right? Y'all got that? Hit a one if you guys got that. Anybody got a question or want to add to what I just stated? Again, some of these signs and symptoms can also be related to other situations, such as ascension symptoms and physical ailments and disease. Since I'm not a board certified doctor, if in doubt, go check it out. Okay. Now I did a what you call it, a short like video about the scratches. How many of you guys saw that one? The video I did talking about spiritual and psychic attacks, and I demonstrated where people will have these scratches on their body and they can't explain where they come from. They don't have a cat. There's no one around. You guys saw that. That's not only a sign of a spiritual attack. That's also a sign of being marked for repeated attacks. So what and who is doing that are these entities. They have three fingers. These are what a lot of the religion and folklore, they call them demons, but they're just a different thought form, so to speak, a different kind of species who is cut off from source. And so therefore, to survive, they feed off of loosh. Somebody mentioned loosh. They call it loosh. We call it energy, life force energy. Because we are in between those of us here in these physical bodies. Some of us have one foot connected to source and one foot down here. So we are an energy and a food source for these entities that are vibrating on certain frequency. And if you were to see them, yes, people who don't know any better or based on religious programming, they will perceive them as demons. But they are real and they exist. And what they do is when you are kind of like in their space and they see your light, you're like a moth to a flame from their perspective. And they don't want to get too close if your light is too strong, but they get just close enough to mark their territory and um, put their energy on your auric field or on your astral body or spirit form, so to speak, so as to create a psychic cord, so you become like a a resource for them. Now you can get your light and your energy so strong you would no longer even be seen in their vicinity. Because again, the higher we vibrate, the less and further we are out of reach of these particular beings. Does that make sense? So what they do, they attack the astral body, and what'll happen is the mind your mind will pick up on it, and then the body will take that energy and that imprint and will basically recreate it on the physical body. Now, this can also happen during the wake state as well, but it usually happens while we're asleep because our guards tend to be down, especially if we go to bed with a heavy heart. People, if we are angry, we're upset, we're in fear, or or our gut flow is very, very heavy and weighed down. It gives them easier access to our energy and our multidimensional layers. Does that make sense? Okay. The next sign that one is being spiritually or psychically attacked, reoccurring dreams of being chased by presence that's caused night terrors, night sweats, and anxiety. A lot of you guys deal with anxiety, and I see nothing wrong with an all natural way of coping with anxiety. But again, many of us who hold high energy, have a high calibration level, the anxiety kind of becomes a kind of double-edged sword in all of this stuff. I'm just seeing if you guys have anything to say or add. Okay. Nothing to add? All right, I'm going to move on. Reoccurring dreams of snakes around you, on your bed, or biting you. And there's a reason why you have some snakes that are harmless, right? But we always remember and pay attention to those vipers and those deadly ones. And those physically and metaphysically tend to be the ones who fight their way to the very top so that they can have power and influence over others, because they have almost like a superiority complex. In their mind, they feel they have the right to rule and dominate and control. So when you have someone with this level of consciousness, be they human or otherwise, and they have great resources and they have connection to these interdimensional forces, you're talking about a very deadly force. And this is why more than often when you have reoccurring dreams like this, it really is an omen-like sign that you are being psychically ciphered or attacked. Extreme shifts in energy, meaning you just bubbly happy 1 minute, then just instantly you feel very sluggish and drained and tired. It's like instant. That's definitely a sign of someone ciphering, psychically feeding off of your energy. And I'm gonna tell you one of the most popular ones that people do, and they are not even aware. I touched on this years ago, and people don't mean no harm, but people must understand that the mind, everything starts in the mind. Everything we visualize, it's not real and tangible to this realm, but on the another dimension, on a layer of self, it's very real. So when we fantasizing about having sex with someone and we come to a point of orgasm, now it very well may be someone you're in love with. That's different because you two have there's a soul tie there. There's a mutual love and respect. That's different. I'm talking about those of us who visualize having relations with someone that we don't know, a stranger, a neighbor, a coworker, or whatever, who's not checking for us and looking for us in that way. I can tell that has been done to me. And it don't matter how you look, who you are, where you are, it happens. It happens, I'm telling you. And I'm just bringing awareness. Sometimes people don't know this is what they're doing. They're literally pulling energy and literally psychically raping someone. This is why even in the Bible, when it talks about looking at being operating in lust and pleasing this flesh while in a state of lust, while that is a violation, energetically it is, because it's pulling and essentially having psychological, spiritual, metaphysical sex with someone without their consent. I'm just looking to see if anyone is saying anything you want to add. Cheyenne, what's up, fam? That's another powerful sister. Cheyenne, I'm going to call you. I'm sorry I missed you. I love Cheyenne. Cheyenne, what's up, family, and welcome. I think about you often, by the way. I do. You're definitely on my list to call and reach out to. Let's see. Anyone, y'all have anything you want to add to that? Or any questions? Okay. Sudden and strong desire and appetite for food, sex, substances, and interests that you've never wanted or considered before. Things that you have typically been against for yourself. Again, what is natural for some is not natural or right for others. I'm talking about out of nowhere, you just want to do things, consume things that you never considered before, and it's literally out of nowhere. Now it's different if you for a long time those thoughts have been there and you've been just kind of pushing it to the side. That's kind of different, but that's a conscious, that's a thought form that can still be hijacked by these forces if we're vibrating on a level where they can see that. Speaking of see, I don't have a point that I forgot to add that I must say. You guys, when I finish the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, please hit 1 in case I get off track. I gotta tell you guys one vice that the dark side love to use to manipulate, feed off of more than anything. I don't even know how I missed it in my notes, but I'm glad it was given to me during this live. Okay, next. Immediate and sudden jarring pain in the body that comes and goes. And again, I touched on that in the beginning. You go to the doctor and they can't find anything. That's usually a sign that just some kind of psychic spiritual attack. The next one. Any questions about that one? Central Touch said, and it won't work. We were always good enough. That's right. Seems that no matter how hard you work or invest into manifesting something of great interest, it never seems to take root. And I had misfortunes in parentheses. Oh, they really, really try to do this to those of us that they try to recruit. They do it with anyone, but they really try to come for people like us in that way. But they find that there's always, I don't mean to laugh. I can really laugh about it now because at one time before I got to where I am, it used to hurt really bad. But when you see the mechanics behind it and why, I mean, just think about it, y'all. We are so strong and so powerful. The level of stuff they have to do just to get a vantage point. I can laugh about it now because even with everything they tried, the Almighty, the Star Family, my ancestors, they always gave me and us everything that we need. It without fail. Without fail. I'm telling you guys, there were times when I had 2 cents to my name. Without fail. Boom. Boom, I'm good. And it's been like that all the years I've been doing this. So I don't worry about money and a roof over my head or anything because I know I'm covered. You see? I only periodically ask for donations to balance the exchange. And I also learned, I've said this before, that sometimes when you give so much of yourself so freely, that affects us, that drains us, especially when if you're someone who's going in overdrive like myself. But it's also showing from the person's who benefits perspective that they are caring and considerate enough to be show gratitude and thanks to anyone who's willing to share and give freely as well. So it's also a test of measure to those who benefit from the content share as well. It's a balance of energy, a balance and exchange of energy. And what I always do, I pay it forward. I donate to others who are doing the same work, who I clearly see as being marginalized. This is how we keep the multidimensional support system going, fam. Okay. Next, number 8, sudden feelings of hopelessness, defeat, sadness, and depression. I went through that years ago, mostly through my 20s. Number 9, you guys want to add to that one? Number 9, lead to, led to and riled into information, visuals, images, and content aimed at invoking strong, low vibratory emotions such as fear, hate, envy, jealousy, anger, etc. Now let me tell y'all something. I know what those, it's one thing when you feel those energies. Again, it's emotions. We emit motion. It's projecting a frequency, a vibration. Every emotion carries a frequency and vibration that in time they will even have technology. Well, they already have it. They just ain't made it known to the public that can measure those frequencies, those different emotions, right? And I'm going to tell you, it's a real frequency, just like you guys are seeing me because these devices is picking up a frequency of my energy and what I'm projecting and putting it together and projecting it in your space where you can see me as if I'm in your space. Well, when we give off energies and emotions, and when we look at this content and we share in the energy and emotion, the exchange is going back and forth. You see? So literally that energy, I'm going to describe what low vibratory energy looks like. Y'all know what the white noise, when you look at the TV, that white noise, that, now imagine that being translucent, but really, really dark. Not only are you seeing it, but you feel it, and it feels like, y'all know what static electricity, that static electricity, imagine static electricity, you in white noise, but it's translucent and has a darkness and a heaviness to it, and it feels like electric, it feels like static electricity. Every cell in your body feels staticky, and then it feels like a whole endless sea of this static energy is all on top of your body, and it's vibrating all at the same time, and it feels very, very heavy and murky. That's what those emotions feel like. That's why they love that. That's what they thrive in. They swim in that. The coldness of that. It has a coldness to it too. They tell us that hell is fire. It's fiery hot. No, have y'all heard of people who have been caught out in in mountains where it's really, really cold, and they get so cold, so cold, icy cold, that they start feeling burning hot, and they take off their clothes they find, because there's a fine line at some point between hot and cold. So these beings, they thrive in cold and low, dense magnetic energy, not hot and fast vibratory magnetic energy. So that's why they love people who promote division, hate, fear, confusion, mindlessness, sex, drugs, alcohol, all that crap, because all that generates, and it makes us a perfect conduit for the ciphering, psychic and physical ciphering of energy, and psychic and spiritual attack, but it also weighs us down vibrationally. Anything to add to that, or any questions with that? Okay, I'm gonna move on. Number 10, this has been mine. This is what I had to deal with. Drama, negativity, and chaos constantly trying to make its way in your space. Common within family and friend dynamic. Now that's how they've been really trying to come for me. And because I see it and I recognize it, I was able to keep things in check, because I'm telling y'all, some months ago, Woo! I was tested beyond belief. The lies and how people constantly drag your name and misrepresent you. Now, people are going to always talk about us and lie on us. I'm going to tell you what really angered me the most about the situation, because his family it's a different. I'm going to get back to the difference between being secret and private, to the point that I said I want to add to this, but I didn't. I'm not going to talk about specifically what that situation that I'm hinting at, because it's a very delicate matter, and it involves the love of my heart, my youngest niece and nephew. Okay, I'm just gonna say that much. Okay, y'all know I've had them since they were babies, very involved in their lives, right? So in a roundabout way, when stuff is said or put out there that are lies, I don't have a problem with people lying, because the truth's going to always prevail. What was really angering me was how those that I love was being used and manipulated by a certain person that was really bringing the draconian, the power of the gods. I mean, hell on earth. They were really pulling on me. But again, all that would have done was lower my calibration level. And I know every time I ever think or even consider or if I'm in that state, my calibration level, even though I stay in the Christ level range, my calibration level do drop. I can't read my own. I have a chart that I can do it. And you guys who can do it, you would know. If I were to tell you stuff I'm going through at a particular time, and you know how to do a calibration level, you will see the drop. But that's the whole point. That's how they try to come at people like us, through our heartstring, our loved ones. And there's always an infiltrator outside and in the family working towards and manipulating to get to and plant things in the minds of those who are closest to you. And again, that is a absolute form of spiritual and psychic attack, because they always use someone who's closest to someone who is close to you. Since they can't get you directly, they're going to use someone you really love and care about, that you have a soft spot for, especially a child or someone who's very young and don't know no better, who's naive and gullible. You see? Or a loved one, or your mother or father. And that's where it gets really difficult. But again, I'm sharing all this with you guys so that you can learn to see it. When you see it for what it is, and you feel what you feel in that moment. Get it out. If you got to cuss, then get somebody you close to. I had a vent a billion times over with my oldest nephew and my sister, over and over. And a couple of people in this room I've shared some things with, because we've developed that level of trust with one another. But beyond that, I'm telling you, let's just say this. I could have done something that could have caused me some karmic retribution, or landed me in some serious trouble. And again, I know better. That's why we get punished right away if we do something, because we're supposed to know better, but we're still in a human form. Okay? So that's the 10 signs that you are being attacked. How many of you guys can relate to at least one or two of those that I've shared with you? Hit one. Wait a minute, room. Hello? I don't see any activity. Okay. You guys got it? Okay. For a minute, there was nothing happening. I relate to about like seven. Let me prep this spiritual back. Oh, I'm coming to that thing. um, I feel like they have tried most of these on me over the years. Oh, yes, they have. Crew, fam, they have. Absolutely, Divine Warrior. Definitely, they have tried that and still trying that with you guys. Now we are going to get into how to protect oneself against such attacks. If you don't have anything to add to what I just shared, No, it stopped. I didn't see anything. It literally just started reloading when you guys hit the one. You guys were asking questions in the last, what, 10 minutes? In the past 10 minutes? What about the bathing water? Okay, I'll get to that. Almost all of these symptoms apply to me, yeah. The energy swings hit before, but I've been clear so far. I knew it, love. You were in your moment. There's been 10 questions. There's been like 10 questions. Yeah, I didn't see y'all questions, guys. Y'all know. We'll see when I repost this, if those questions come up. If I don't touch on them here, I'll touch on them later in a different way. I apologize for that. I don't even know what you guys were asking. Okay. Now we're getting into how to protect oneself against such attacks. Hold on, let me drink a little water. Okay. How to protect oneself against such attacks. See it. I already see how fast I forgot? Remember I said there was one thing that I did not put in the notes in the previous set that I should have, and I'm going to tell you what it is. It begins with an S. It begins with an S, and it's something that if someone were to find out that you don't want to know, it could be used against you. Can you guys guess what that is? I actually kind of said it already, but let me see who's paying attention. Something that begins with an S, if someone were to find out this that you're holding, and you really don't want it to be known, and if it were to be known, they would or could use it against you or to manipulate you with. Anybody have any idea? Secrets. Thank you, fam. Secrets. You know, there are more videos coming out about the rituals and the things that go on in the Hollywood circle with those who are famous. And let me tell you, it's not just people who are famous, it's in people who are in leadership positions of power. This is how it usually is, right? The minute they find out that you have a secret, and they have a way of finding out. They had spirits watching, they had people watching, they following watching through these phones, through these apps. They'll set you up. They have all kind of ways of getting the secret out of you, getting it on camera, getting a confession, or whatever the case may be. Now, this is where holding secrets, certain secrets can be used against us. Now, there's a difference between keeping a secret, being sworn to a secret on behalf of someone else. But say, for instance, you have a lot of people out here who are not heterosexual. This is one of the main ones, especially using this particular method, especially with men who are in cultures and communities who are known to frown upon same-sex attraction, homosexuality, and same-sex coupling, and same-sex feelings and desires. Let me tell you, the best thing I can tell you and the best advice I can tell you, you need to, if that's what that kind of stuff they're using to hold leverage over you, it's best to get in front of, own it, screw what anybody got to say about it, okay? Because if they're going to reject you for that small part of who you are, they ain't worth keeping anyway. Because you only, especially now, you only want people who's going to accept and love and have your back unconditionally anyway, okay? So if there are secrets, now some of y'all got some real heavy stuff. I'm talking about some stuff where you got blood on your hands. You're going to have to reconcile that in the best way you and your higher self just will lead you. But and some of y'all got stuff where you, uh, as an adult, you touch children and stuff like that. I'm not talking about any of you guys that I deal with directly, but I'm just speaking to people in general and people who will come across this video. Some people do have blood on their hands. And let me tell you, one of the main reasons why a lot of people don't want to accept that there's something that happens after we drop dead, many of those people are carrying secrets of orphan bodies and being in on making people disappear. And they think that they got away with something. So what happens is, in their mind, they think, oh, they got away with something. So to contend or to accept that, oh, you don't really die, that could mean that, oh, so that means that the stuff that I did, I may well be held accountable for. Yes, that's what that means. Just saying I don't believe in it, it don't exist because blah, 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 because you want to rationalize and think you got away with something, it's not going to do it. Again, the best thing you can do, especially at this time, is to atone for it, come to grips with it, ask for forgiveness, ask for divine. You can speak and ask, and it will come. You speak from the heart, you will get it. Ask for divine direction on how to alleviate those dark secrets. Because I'm telling you, especially if you are someone of influence, who have gifts, talents, and you have a lot of resource and leverage on this planet, the best way to weaken that hold is to break that connection by getting in front of the secrets, putting it out there, atoning for it, and letting it go, and work on building and making things right. That's the best advice I can tell you. Be who you are. Y'all see, one of the most consistent messages that I had is be who the hell you really are. Screw what somebody, what culture, society, what your religion, all these indoctrinations, because most of y'all are going against your higher purpose anyway when you are taking in a program or indoctrination or system that doesn't even apply to you. You know it don't apply to you because it's not resonating. And it ain't because you're a bad person or because you want to quote unquote sin. It's because you know it's BS. It's not for you. You've outgrown it, or it's just not for you. So those secrets, and they definitely use sex. Sex has been weaponized. Music has been weaponized. Okay? Often people blood sacrificing people for fame and money, all of that. They use all of that. So those secrets, y'all, again, there's a difference between being private and keeping a secret, especially a secret that involves some pretty heavy karmic retribution, or that could possibly cause one to lose the feeling of security with the acceptance of family, friends, co-workers, and et cetera, et cetera. No, you just have to be you and let that light shine exactly the way it's supposed to shine. Some of us come here to be rebellious and to be rebel spirits. Some of us come in here to take down and to disrupt culture, because just because this culture don't make it right. Slavery and being a buffoon is culture. Being a degenerate has become culture in some places now. Treating women like trash has become culture. Sexualizing women has become a culture. Misogyny has become a culture. Why go along with that mess? No, you put up that resistance. Okay, I gotta get ready because oh God, it's getting late. I still gotta cook dinner. All right. How to protect yourself against said attacks. Number one, periodically take deep cleansing baths. Someone mentioned a spiritual bath. I'm not going to tell you guys what kind of spiritual baths specifically, but always seek out natural while using the power of your mind. Natural and power of the mind, because again, this is all psychic warfare. You have to counter. The best defense is a good offense, and vice versa. This is how we counter. This is how they're attacking us or trying to come for us. We have to do some of the same things, but in the reverse, naturally, with the power of the mind, thought process, affirmations, water, because water holds consciousness. Water is consciousness. That's why I say consciousness is everywhere, but nowhere at the same time. We're just anchoring an aspect of consciousness in these bodies to be present and to experience this particular plane in a very dense physical way. All right, the next one. Oh yeah, I also mentioned as the God of your higher perspective or your higher self, um, to lead you to an all natural bathing routine that will be best for you. Okay, that resonate because Daniel says that this is the year of atonement. Yes, thank you. Perfect time, and thank you, fam. Year of atonement. That's why I had to put that out there. Atone, forgive, let go, ask for forgiveness, balance the scales. This is how you do it. This is how you break those psychic cords and those strongholds these diabolical forces have on you. Here's shower again, water cleanse. Water's a great cleanse and protector in this regard when you do it right. While showering, use the power of your mind to visualization exercise. Remember what I said about that earlier? Use the power of your mind to visualize the water washing off all of the dark and negative energy forms, the negativity, the drama, and the thoughts that you had in association with that while the water is running over your body. Speak it, you're releasing it. Visualize it as you're doing it. You are literally doing it. You won't see it with the naked eye, but you will feel it happening. Um, wait a minute. The water washing off all energies and form that's not adding to the best version of self. Affirm the ritual. This becomes a part of your ritual. Regular baths and showering, bathing. And I'm going to get back to bathing because that's very key because that's connected to water. Water is really big now in more than one ways, y'all. Let me tell you. The next one, cut off person, places, information, and things who are not fortifying or empowering you and what you ultimately stand for. The consistent sources of drama and conflict. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I kind of touched on that. Thank them all for what you've learned from them, and then project divine love and protection onto them from a distance. Again, the divine love and protection is there for them to help them because there's still a little time for them to move away from the things that they may be engaging in. Because again, we're helping each other. But more importantly, we have to help ourselves first and foremost. The next one, periodically and routinely detox from mass and social media content. Now that going back to some of the points that I previously made, that this media, and don't get me wrong, I tune in here and there, but I don't like being on it because I see it for what it is. The majority of the psychic attacks and the manipulation is coming from the mainstream media. Make no mistake about it. They are casting spells through the portals. This is a portal. This is a portal. The music is a portal. Okay. Instagram, all those apps, those are portals, those are gateways, and they put their minions and their agents in the forefront to influence and to cast spells, cipher energy, all of that. Detox from it. Make it a part of your lifestyle. And when I say detox, I'm not talking about a day or two. I'm talking about put that mess down and limit. I know some people have to work on it, but if you got to work on it, I'm talking about like logging on to these apps and really engaging in the nonsense, especially if you're not at a point where you can be neutral to it. If you're someone who log on and you see someone, a black man's, for instance, I'm gonna give you an example. This right here is a perfect example of collective psychic attack. How they are consciously and purposely putting out these videos of black men getting gunned down in the street. Again, it's psychological war, this spiritual war, to rile people into their emotions, rage, anger, hopelessness, all that. I'm not saying to ignore the problem. but you got to see it for what it is. You help change that situation by elevating, standing on your square and elevating the people out from the realm of consciousness where that kind of stuff can continue to have an effect on the collective. That's how we break that script and that program. Hey, ABB, thank you for the info. Are you leaving or you just saying it for the sake of making it known? Miss Kitty Lulu, you say, yeah, exactly. My highest self confirmed this. There you go. Thank you, fam. Affirmations. I'm really big on this. The power of commands. Remember, we are a universe unto ourselves. This is what they don't want you guys to know. You know that when we come here, we are in someone else's collective creation and imagination, right? This is why they write the laws and all this matrix. But the earth collectively is an extension of all of us because that ultimately comes from source. But this matrix, this system itself was created by those who benefit the most from it. It's a win-win for them, but it's also, it could be used for good and it can also be used in the opposite, right? So when we come here, we agree to consent to abide by the rules and the laws of the matrix, right? We can do this very same thing with the power of our mind and our soul power just like a star in out way out there. We can use the power of our mind and create entire worlds and universes with the power of our mind, become the kings and queens and gods of our own world with our own mind. Remember, we are only, the whole of who we are is massive. When we come here, incarnate in these bodies as babies and grow up and all that, that's only a small fractal of who you really are. So this is when people say everybody can't be a queen and king and everybody can't be a god. Yes, they can in their own universe with the power of their own mind. You don't believe me? What do you do every night when you're asleep, when you are unconscious? You are unconsciously creating worlds in the dream state. You're just not consciously aware of doing it and how it's coming together or what have you. But when you're done with this body and you merge with your all aspects of your higher selves, you will better see what I'm talking about. You can create your own heaven. I'm specifically talking about the soul brothers and sisters. I don't care what your shade, what your gender, what your sexual orientation, none of that crap matters in the bigger picture. What matters is we are soul brothers and sisters vibrating on the same accord, wanting the same things, want an equal playing field, a harmonic realm and universe for all, period, point blank. All that other bullshit, these agents and all these fakes and frauds out here saying it can kick rocks with no socks. And I mean it. All right. Somebody say, ABB, can you touch on demons versus demons? Demons versus demons? Well, okay, let me finish this and I'll come back to that. Demons, I kind of try to stay away from that term, but I know that's the term most people are most familiar with or what have you. And within a religious context, I can understand why that holds value. But I'm going to touch on, yes, in this warfare, there are demons versus demons, and I'm going to tell you why. There are multiple reasons why. You're talking to Miss Kitty Lulu. You guys are having dialogue amongst each other. Okay. No questions for me. Where was I? Get in the mirror, look in your eyes early in the morning and before bed and affirm yourself. You can come up with whatever daily affirmation or you want. Let it come from your heart. Speak it. Whatever it is that you want for yourself, you want to see for yourself, just one or two sentences, lock that in, get in the mirror, look yourself in the eye, because what you're doing is not only are you willing it and you're pulling it into your reality, but you're also speaking, you're commanding it. Sit under and hug a tree. Trees are very, very wise. They are living beings. Yes, they are alive. They do more than just give us oxygen so that we can survive here. They're very wise. When you sit under a tree reading a book, or just sitting under a tree getting sunlight, which I kind of got that down here too, you're going to feel lighter. You're going to feel so refreshed and just feel peaceful. They do that for us, hugging trees, talking to the trees. The energetic exchange. Trees give us wisdom. They can. We've lost this knowledge, and I'm trying to be one of many vessels who's trying to remind us the wisdom, the elders. Those are elders there, and they're powerful beings who are connected to trees that is not visible by the naked eye. Some of our ancestors are on another dimension connected to these trees as well. The trees can tune us up ultimately. Okay, the next one, keep your dwellings, body, and environment as fresh, clean, and neat as possible. I say, there's a reason why they say cleanliness is the next best thing to godliness. I can't stress that one enough. And I'm going to tell you why. Again, the best offense is a good defense. Negative entities, low vibratory entities beyond the veil, they cannot stand cleanliness. They cannot stand harmony. They cannot stand order. Because, again, all those things, our dwellings, everything holds energy. And those vices vibrate very, very high, strong magnetic energy. These entities can't handle that energy, remember? So this is why they want to keep socially engineering us to be down and downtrodden, so we stay in that low end of energy so that these entities can feed off of. You get it? So this is why they love stankiness, they love nastiness, they love filth, because those odors, and they love what's the word? They love clutter. You know, people who are hoarders, they love people like that. Filth and debauchery and all that kind of stuff. Again, that collective space and environment, funky body, dirty, nasty, violent sex, and all this kind of stuff. The energy that gives off is the kind of energy that they thrive in. They love that energy, but they don't like the opposite. This is how you keep them away. That's your defense. You see? Yet my grandma always said that as girls, we need to stay extra clean, especially women. I, I'm almost embarrassed to see people, and I've seen it myself, where ladies, come on, ladies, by and large, I understand that sometimes we miss, or there may be some health things going on, but come on, ladies, we really, really got to get it together, especially. And I know one of the byproducts for this, and it ties into one of the points I'm getting ready to come up into, especially because the mothers holding the womb, the odor, these entities, they love the foul odor emanating from the womb. They love that. Again, this is serious, y'all. A lot of spirits are coming in through the portal with under this kind of energy that I'm talking about. And people are wondering why kids are so evil and acting out in such a demonic way, because it's a spirit that came in. That's a whole video in itself. This is why I'm going to do a video about reckless procreation and recklessly opening ourselves and letting just anybody come inside our vessels. That's a double entendre. Come inside our vessel. I'm not trying to be nasty, y'all. I'm just saying. I'm speaking off the top of the dome. So that's going to be a whole nother video. Like I say, I don't want to keep getting off topic. Misunderstanding, lies, deceit, deception, and magnetic pulling, draining. All, again, these patterns and these behaviors and these habits creates and these states causes and creates magnetic pulling, draining, and creates psychic cords to us that we do not need. So that concludes that that part of spiritual psychic attacks, how to recognize them, signs that you're being attacked, what it's all about and what the end game is from my perspective, what I've learned and what I've observed over the years. Some of these things may be familiar with you guys, and I'm sure there were some things that may be a little different because I like to bring some unfamiliar, some not so commonly shared information into the fold as well. Guy Earth, my biggest battle was with the insectoid, real demonic energy. Yeah. Oh, y'all know we're getting to the point now where all these people who think, oh, there ain't no, we're the only one that exists in all of infinity and all that. Y'all, there are a lot of videos popping up now because the veil has thinned so much and the timelines have collapsed so much. An astral plane is more present and closer now in this space than ever before. This is why you guys and many of you are going to see these beings, the insectoids, those beings that look like feline people. I can run down the list. I've seen several beings that are not human, but they are humanoid. And so, yes, even amongst those, you have some angelic types, so to speak. You have the demonic types, and then you have those who are in somewhere in the middle, just like humans. You have angelic types. You got demons among humans. They look like us, but again, what's the commonality? The consciousness. They share the same consciousness, two sides of the same coin. Someone who's a white supremacist, the mentality, and someone who's a black supremacist, they're the same. One just dipped in chocolate. You go and look at how they think and how they move and what they want to bring about. You will see the exact same ideology. The only difference is the shade. They are on the same frequency. This is why I keep telling y'all get out of that mess thinking because somebody got your shade, they got your back, and think because somebody ain't your shade, they're against you. It's not black and white no more, people. Y'all, I'm kind of preaching to the choir, but I'm talking to those people who all this may be new to them. Anyone who's trying to keep the focus on someone's social identity, someone's color, someone's race, and all that, whether they know it or not, they are participating in the divide and conquer strategy. We should be looking at the heart of the person and the level of consciousness and the fruit that they are producing. That's what we should be looking at. But they want to keep us on, is she gay? Who he gay? Who's married to who? Who's this? Who's that? How much money somebody got? All this stupid nonsense stuff that ain't gonna have no direct impact on none of our lives. But the fruits, what they're doing behind closed doors collectively and behind that dimensional wall collectively, that's hitting everybody every day in every way, that's what we should be coming together and looking at. So yes, there are demonic insectoids. Yes, and there's some benevolent ones too. Just like we had in nature here on Earth, you have insects. Again, they're just a lower form of a higher form. Every being on this planet has a higher, advanced form of itself somewhere else. Now, I know that's a hard thing for people to swallow, but it is what it is. Yes, there are a race of beings who are insectoid. There are species and race of beings who are feline. Race of people who are reptile. We are part. Some of us have insect genes, reptile, mammalia. A lot of us are mixed with a lot of this stuff anyway, which is why these beings can also incarnate in a human body. They look like us, but their higher self, they may be a giant praying mantis. A lot of people can't wrap their mind around that. We have some and this is where going back to the question about demon versus demon, because what it comes down to is those who want ultimate power and control and want to enslave and dominate, oppress, and all this kind of stuff, they don't always agree on things. And sometimes they want total power over the other. You see? So they're fighting against, this is what's going on now, by the way. Their infighting is weakening And on top of the fact that they've already poked some bears, and I'm talking about some giant bears, pun intended, more than enough. So I'm not, their time is up. I'm just, hey, and I'm telling y'all, I don't care what it looks like. They are already on the wrong side of history. It's already done. I told y'all this years ago. Because if I'm telling you, had they won, the world would be very, 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 very obvious, and we will see in your face total anarchy, shutdown, dictatorship. We would have it right now. They would literally be doing whatever they want in plain sight. I mean, just all out gully with it. But because it's not like that, that's because obviously they have not achieve what it is. There's still that little bit that's still trying with everything they have. But what's that saying? Resistance is futile because there's some players involved in this game now. They never even thought exist. It's beyond even their level of comprehension. I'm talking about beings who have advanced knowledge of millions of highly advanced species. And wrap your mind around that. We're talking about higher council level involvement here. But the only reason why they're not coming right out in our faces is because there are a lot of people who are not ready, and collectively it could cause a shift, again, a reverse psychic shift that would undo thousands of years of progress. So they're incrementally doing it, and they're doing it behind the scenes, and they're making themselves known to certain people. So let me get back to the demon versus demon. On one level, you got those who are fighting for Top Gun to bring about their version of a new world order and to harvest and soul trap. But then you also have in this spiritual warfare those beings who was on their side, who have come over, who saw the light, who want to be grafted into a soul, and who want out. Um they're still in tune with that part of themselves, but because they want to atone and make things right, their knowledge and what they know and their power is absolutely needed and appreciated at this time. So if let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. If you had a demon who basically was in your corner, who or you would call a demon. Now, again, I don't like to use that word, but I'm just speaking for conversation's sake. That demon protected you. Would that be a demon to you? That demon protected you from all forms of harm, psychic attacks, physical attacks, giving you what you need to help you reach your highest version. Would that be a demon to you? No. But that other demon that want your place and want your power and want what you want, that has knowledge and has access and connections that you don't have, and maybe that the demon you work with don't have, that demon would see that other demon as a demonic threat to them. Again, we're talking about perspectives. Remember that video I did about perspectives? Sometimes we and this is a human nature, we tend to demonize anything that we don't understand. Like you got people out here right now straight up saying any being that's not from Earth, it's a demon. See, stuff like that. How are you people talking like that any different from a white supremacist saying black people are thieves and savages or stupid or intellectually inferior? You're doing the same thing. You ain't no better. That black and white painting an entire species with one broad brush is idiocy, and it's not right. So again, a demon is a matter of what side they're on. That's ultimately what I'm going and where I'm going. But yes, here in this game, you have demons fighting each other for top dog alpha male position still. You see? And it is very real. It is going on. And you also have what we call body hopping, where these entities, those who are drinking, smoking that GMO stuff, all these chemicals weighing down their consciousness and putting a dark cloud over their mind's eye, over their lungs, over their body, and all this kind of stuff. They are making themselves more susceptible to possession or body harvesting. And this is why, going back to what I was saying about sex, why we should really be more guarded now about who we open ourselves to sharing our body with. Don't get me wrong. We would love to have intimacy. There's nothing wrong with that. But it needs to be with someone who's vibrating, calibrating high, sharing the same energy level as you. Now, there are those who are vampiric in nature. They know the power that those who have a high calibration level have. They want that power. So they may come looking like your ideal man and woman, looking someone you never thought you could pull visually, but inside it's a parasite, and you lay down with it, it's going to be creating psychic cords again to cipher and feed off it and pull on your energy. Women with this culture, this rap culture, making it cool for women to be thoughts and hoes and all that. No, that's a setup. That's a trap. That is a part of the program to get women, again, to consent to being harvested and to be ciphered and psychically fed off of, to weaken the divine feminine, the collective, the great mother, the vessels for the great mother. And you will get to a point where you will see it clear as day. Now, the reverse is we share our bodies with someone who's equally your high vibration, giving that love, being affectionate. We create tremendous, powerful energy waves like that. This is why they're not pushing for love no more. They're not pushing for loving couples, loving families. This is one of the reasons why they're tearing it down. It's what those unions create. The energy those unions create. You see? It's all keep coming back to spiritual and psychic attacks. Let me make sure I didn't. Okay, it looks like I covered everything that I have on my notes. I'm going to answer a couple of questions and then I got to go, y'all. Oh, gosh. Thank you. When I talk about detox, I want to go a little more about detox gut flow. Remember, this is the first mind, the intestine's second mind. I cannot stress this enough. Please make it a lifestyle change. I don't tell people what to eat. I don't get into that anymore. But what I do like to offer suggestions: cut back eating as much. Only eat when you're hungry. That's the best way you do. And some people are emotional eaters, so that may not be the best advice for everybody. But ultimately, we at this point, and it's naturally happening for a lot of us, where our appetites are and our stomachs are shrinking anyway because we've changed our appetite. Eat less, but eat more grains. Whatever you're eat more grains, more fruits that grow from trees, more green stuff. Incorporate chlorophyll in your diet. Take it regularly. This is going to help, again, fortifying you and reinforcing your magnetic field against psychic and spiritual attacks. And it's also amping up your inner light. And cleanse your system with prune juice. I periodically, I've been doing it for years, drinking prune juice to cleanse my gut flow. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. You don't want your gut flow backed up, your stomach out to here and all this kind of stuff. That's a backup. And 9 times out of 10, if it's not bloating, I hate to be gross, but that's pounds of waste, feces that's been in your gut probably months and even years. Even though you're going to the bathroom, what you're pouring out is what has been up in the gut flow for months and years. It's not what you're putting in within, or what you most recently put in. So keeping the gut clean plays a major role, because they love people who are heavy meat eaters. Now, I'm not shaming meat eaters because I now see that there are animals who have agreed to come down and be food. Now, again, this is next level spiritual stuff. I know a lot of people don't agree and don't see it that way. Hey, do you? I'm telling you what I had seen and what was revealed to me. That was their sacrifice. Again, the story of Jesus is not a literal story. It is really symbolically touching on many beings who have sacrificed, come here, risk being trapped here through the cycle of birth and rebirth, knowing the risk, come here to sacrifice themselves to help soul brothers and sisters who have been trapped and been getting recycled, having their memories wiped, recycled in this matrix over and over as a soul resource and as a slave, and they didn't know it. So these animals understood, those who took on being animals and being food and so on and so forth, they knew that they agreed to it so that there isn't as much cause and effect and karmic that's accrued because they consented to it. This is what they come here for and to do. And this is why we should always give thanks and reverence to animals. Now, I'm not saying every last one of the animals came here to be food. I'm not saying that. Some had been put down here to be food as karma as well. Like I've seen videos where people would take a crab or that's a living being with feelings. They would take a crab or an animal and they would just rip it apart alive. I mean, that's a you don't think from that crab and that species perspective that didn't consent to that, they don't see that human doing that to them as a demon, as something evil. That's why when humans come around, a lot of these animals and these sea creatures, they flee because they see we're the demons to them. But instead of humanely, there's a way you can humanely put the animal or the being out. But man wanted to do everything quick and rude. And then there's also uh, some men and people who are so detached. They don't have empathy. They don't have compassion. It's not in them to click that being can feel that pain and suffering you are inflicting on them. There's a quick and a very and even painless way you can sacrifice that animal or take that animal, but they want it to be brutal. That's why they push those videos out there in the forefront. They don't want you to see where now they are, thanks to people who are that's their lane. They come down here to help the animals, protect the animal, where they are sacrificed in a very humane way. Where, like for instance, with cows, it's going to be more to pay for the food because they have to pay for the overhead to do it. But instead of doing it the way they did, where they torture and slaughter and brutalize the poor animals to death, and that energy is going in the meat. Now what they do, they do it very humanely. They take the animal one at a time. They stroke their head and comfort them, and they'll quickly put a beam post in the middle of their forehead and make them lose consciousness. They don't feel anything. They out like that. This is what people who are advocating for not eating meat, this is what more you guys need to be doing, advocating and pushing for the more humane treatment and the more a humane sacrifice of animals. I saw, and I had to dig to find it, where they show you how they sea creatures, what they would do to before they just go stabbing and breaking them up and torturing them to death. They put them on in a cooler with ice, where at a certain temperature, and what that does, it makes them go unconscious. It makes them. It's something about making them feel like they're hibernating, and they go unconscious. And while they're unconscious, that's when they take them, and then they do the sacrifice that way. This is what it's all about. We should all be looking to end all this unnecessary pain, misery, suffering, disharmony on this plane. And a time will come when the earth, the emerging new earth will be that way. It'll be way less negativity. But don't get it twisted. The shell that falls and breaks away will still exist, and it's going to be infested, and it's going to be horrible, and those who are on that frequency will be left behind on that plane and on that realm of collective consciousness. So that's all I got. That's all I'm going to say. Good time, 4:30. I want to thank you all so very much for this time. I already made a couple of videos that I want to get to you. I just got to do the editing, so be looking out for that. I want to thank everybody who took the time and who's still taking the time to go and listen to and stream my music, even though that is being suppressed and attacked too. Here's my hand. It is. Y'all who follow, y'all see. It is. So thank you guys so much. Continue to question, learn, and grow. And as I always say, in spite of everything, I want to say happy travel. And you are so loved beyond measure. All right? That's it, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and your work week or your week or whatever you have to do. I'll be back soon.